Warning, the player selections you're about to see may flop miserably. FPL TV cannot be held responsible for any of your own transfer shockers. Please, FPL responsibly.
Hey guys, and welcome back to the Point Predictor, the series where I pick 5 players that I think will score 4 points or more in the upcoming FPL Gameweek. Within these predictions, I can only select one player per club, and I must follow the categories shown on screen. If you enjoy the Point Predictor series, then be sure to support the channel by dropping a like and getting subscribed to FPL TV. Before getting into my predictions for this weekend's Game Week 7, let's quickly look back to last Game Week and see if any of my choices returned 4 points or more. So another very decent return of 4 out of 5 correct predictions last week, with Aguero, Mitrovic and Maddison all getting on the score sheet, and Robertson earning a clean sheet at home to Southampton. I went into Sunday with 4 out of 4 correct predictions, and with only Hazard left to play, I was agonisingly close to getting all 5 right, but unfortunately he wasn't able to give me the full house against West Ham. So let's move on now to Game Week 7's predictions, and see who I think can return points this weekend. For my defensive choice this week, I've opted for Matt Doherty of Wolves, who makes his second appearance in the Point Predictor. So far, I've liked what I've seen from Wolves at both ends of the pitch. With just 1 defeat in 6, they're proving hard to beat. With only 6 goals conceded, they're proving hard to score against. And Doherty has already produced 9 goal attempts this season, behind only Marcus Alonso. With a home game against Southampton next, I'd say Wolves have a good chance of a clean sheet here. But failing that, Doherty has proved to be a very forward-thinking defensive option and has the potential to provide some attacking returns in this one. For the midfielder under the price of 8 million, I've selected Everton's Richarlison. The Brazilian started the season excellently for Everton, bagging 3 goals in his first 2 appearances before that red card in Game Week 3. During his suspension, Everton failed to win a game without him, and although he didn't score on his return last weekend, he did produce 4 goal attempts away to Arsenal, which is a much trickier fixture than the one he faces now in Game Week 7. Everton are playing Fulham at home this weekend, and significantly, Fulham have conceded by far the most big chances this season with 22, so I fancy there to be a few goals in this game, with Richarlison likely to get on the score sheet. My any priced midfield option this week goes to Raheem Sterling. I feel like Sterling has gone about his business quite quietly so far this season, already racking up 3 goals and an assist in 5 appearances, yet still only being owned by a lowly 3.4% of managers. He's now returned points in 4 out of his 5 starts so far, and is ticking over very nicely on 33 points altogether, making him the highest scoring Man City midfielder. It's definitely his high price tag that's putting suitors off, but given his exploits so far, he should not be overlooked, with Man City facing Brighton at home next. In the last 4 game weeks, he's had the most penalty area touches of any midfielder, producing 12 goal attempts in the process. And seeing as though he didn't start City's League Cup game in midweek, he looks set to start in Game Week 7, and I fancy him to do well. For my forward under 8 million, again for this category there were lots of choices here. Olivier Giroud has an excellent record against Liverpool, Troy Deeney enjoys playing Arsenal, and Callum Wilson or Joshua King have a good fixture at home to Palace. I've decided though to stick with my budget option from the last Point Predictor and choose Mitrovic, which means I've selected 2 players from the same fixture this game week. Earlier I mentioned Fulham's leaky defence, but the same can be said for Everton, who've only conceded 2 goals less, with 11 goals conceded in 6 games so far. With both teams only managing 1 win so far this season, I think it's a game that each will be desperate to win, and what I like about Mitrovic is that everything seems to come through him. From Fulham's 8 goals so far this season, Mitrovic has played his part in 6 of them, so I'm taking a punt that both him and Richarlison return points in this one. My any priced forward this game week goes to Tottenham's Harry Kane. Kane is definitely a player I'm concerned not to own in my squad this game week, with the England striker facing Huddersfield, a team he put 2 goals past in the same fixture last season. Although Kane hasn't been at his best so far, it's hard to look past him in this fixture, with Huddersfield sat bottom of the league and currently having the worst defensive record with 14 goals conceded. Harry Kane did get back on the score sheet last weekend, albeit from the penalty spot, but he showed signs in that game that he may be hitting some form, producing 5 goal attempts and forcing some very good saves from Brighton's Matt Ryan. The luxury when selecting Harry Kane is that we don't need to worry about an early substitution or any kind of rotation. And having been rested during Tottenham's League Cup game, this could be a very good game week to own the Spurs hitman. So that wraps up Game Week 7's Point Predictor. Hopefully you enjoyed the episode, and if you did, please support the channel by getting subscribed to FPL TV. You can also hit the notification bell, so you'll always be notified of when an FPL TV video goes live. Good luck to you all for Game Week 7, FPL responsibly, and I'll catch you all next week.